All right. Okay. So welcome back to this session. We're going to go ahead and build on what we did last Monday. On a Friday, we looked at GIT, and we looked at how to set up the GIT, to initialize GIT, to make sure GIT is able to start monitoring our files. We looked at also, the history of source code management, what people were doing before, and then, before the advent of Git, how Git was developed by the same guy who developed Linux Torvalds, and what Git generally, the philosophy, Git is a source code management control tool. It helps you to track changes in a file, right, with respect to time. So that so same thing as like taking snapshots of a file, capturing the time at which you took the snapshot and the changes that happened in that very time. So we also looked at the Git repository architecture, which is what you're seeing now, which is the the three the three areas, right? The logical areas of Git, the working copy, which is where you do the editing of your files, your code, your whatever, right? Which is what you see on your computer. That's the working copy, where the file is. You open the file and you work. That's the working copy. And then the staging area, to take a snapshot, right? Or to save what you have been working on, right? You put it here to make Git aware, and then the actual saving of that change, which is called a commit. So when you save the file, it is in Git terminology, it is called a commit. And we said the combination of the staging area and the commit, right, are saved in a folder called the .git directory. We looked at also the way to start Git to monitor your file that you are editing is to use the command git init, right? And that's the command here, git init, git space init. What that will do is to initialize Git, create a .git directory, create a staging area and a commit logical area. And so that when you start working on this file, Git will start tracking it. To move, we looked at the command for us to move our file. Haven't been satisfied with what we're doing here. We want to move it to our staging area so that we can commit it. We looked at the command we needed to use, which was a git add space dot if you want to add all the files that you're working on at once. But if it's a particular file, let's say the file is called S1, you just write the file name and that's it, right? So that particular file will be, the changes you have made in that file will be added to the staging area. And then for you to commit it, will be git commit space -m, which M means message, space, then you put your quotation mark, and then you type a message. And I added line 3 and 6 to this this chapter. Let's say you're writing a book, and then you close your quotation mark, and Git will take a snapshot and add this message so that anybody that looks at that snapshot will have an idea of what you did. when you took this, when you made that commit. We looked at Git status, which was basically Git status was basically it shows you the state of the file, right? So let's just type something here. Shows your file state, right, in your working tree and staging area. So when you do Git status, it will show you the file you have here, the state of your file here and the state of your file here. If there are any changes, it will show you the difference. You will see that. So Git status will help you do that. We looked at Git log, which basically shows you your commit history. So a list of all the commits you have made, it will show you that. You'll see all the comments that you've added to each commit. You'll see the email of the person who made the commit. You'll see the name of the person who made the commit. We also, at the beginning here, once we initialize our Git, right? One of the things we also we looked at was how to set up your identity in Git. So we said Git. It was a command that we used there. Just 1 minute. I'll just was git config -- global, right? And then user.name. Then you now put your name, right? And you close it down. So what that does, right, is to ensure that you have been captured, right, as the person that is managing this repository, the one that is making the changes, right? If you also want to, and then the next one will be git config -- global user.email, right? And then for example, okay, so this is supposed to be -- I don't know why it's giving me, right? So this helps you set up your user, your name and your email, okay? And then you start creating your file. When you create your file, you edit your file, you now use git add to move the file from the working copy to the staging area, right? And then if you are comfortable, you commit that file, you take a snapshot. The reason for this add, I told you, was because the developer of Git wanted to make sure that you know what you are doing. They didn't just want you to commit straight, so that you are to avoid accidental commits, right? So, yeah, so that's why this staging area is actually here. We looked at file status, status of files. We looked at that. We had the untracked files, and there was no notation about it. You just see that your file is basically just normal, right? We also had the unmodified, right? And that was denoted by a U, by your file. And then we have the staged, which means we've moved it to the staging area. And we had an S for you to know. And we had the modified, which had an M, right? So the stage should be A, I think so. Or S. We'll find out when we get there. So we looked at all this stuff. So now I want us to look at some other terminologies as we move on, right? How to know the difference between, did I give you that here? No, I didn't. The difference between the working copy and the staging area, okay? So when I mean difference, I told you Git status shows the file state in the working tree, working copy or tree, they are the same thing, and the staging area, right? It just shows you if there were changes that were made, right? It will just show you a red, right? Okay, let's actually just start something. Okay, so um, I will I would I would I'll probably just start it all over again. So what I will do is here is I am currently in this is my VS Code. Okay, so this is my VS Code. And I am in my, let's locate where my file is. CD desktop, let's see. Okay, let's see. Downloads. It's not there. This cloud file is actually somewhere. Let's see if I can. LS. Okay, it's not there. Okay, so let me go on my normal folder to just look for that file. Let me look for the folder where I kept it. Just want to make sure. Oh, okay. Okay, so it's actually in the desktop. CD cloud. Okay, so if I ls, I have this file there, and it is showing modified, one of the file states. See that? It index modified, right? It's showing modified. So now, what I want to do here now is we've already done git init, we've done git config, we've created all those things, okay? So I want to now, let's say git status. Now this shows us, like what I just told you, right? It shows us the difference between what we have in our working copy, which is basically, this is our working copy, what we're editing right now. It shows us the difference between, what is here and what we have in our staged file. Now it is showing green, right? So it means that there is no difference between what I have in my staged area and what I have in my working copy. That's why it's green. So let's make some edits. Okay, so we'll do another git status. Are you seeing now that it has changed red? Because what I have in my working copy is now different from what is on my staged area. Okay, so for me to make the two the same, right, I will have to do git add. Sorry, I have to commit, right? Once I do my commit, or sorry, I have to do git add so that I will move what I have now in my working copy to my staged area. Then it will be the same. It will turn to green later when I put when I type git status. But now, because I've modified my working copy and I've not moved it to my staging area, it's flagging it, it's showing me that there's a difference. To see the clear difference, you can use the command git diff. Okay, and you hit enter. If you hit enter, you would see, right? Okay, so staged is A, not S. Okay, it shows you the file states, right? Unmodified is U, modified is M, and staged is A. Now, it also shows you, right, what is currently untracked. Untracked is another, sorry, what I have modified, right? Before I wrote nothing to commit. If you notice, you see there's a minus there. What that means is that that was what was taken, was edited, and there is a plus here in green, right? That was what the change I made. So it shows you, this is git diff, right? Shows you the difference between what was there before and what you changed. So it shows you that difference between your staging area, sorry, your working copy, what used to be there, and what you have, the changes you have made that you have now staged, right? So this is what it is. So git diff gives you that, it gives you that, it gives you the opportunity to see that. Okay, so we'll move on. Now, if you want to see the difference between your staged area and your commit area, right? You can still do that, right? And let's clear. Let's do git diff to see the difference between the working copy, which is this, and then the staged, right? That's the difference. The previous, before I made any edits, this was what it used to be. And after I made edits and I staged it, this is what it is now. Okay, so now let's check between the staged area and what the previous commit, the last snapshot we made last month, Friday. So you do git diff, right, space, dash, dash, staged. So that will help show you the difference between the staged area and the commit area. You notice that there is a difference. You understand? The previous commit that we made, right? The original file that was committed that we did last time was showing nothing to commit, right? And I just made changes to it. Okay, so I have not committed it yet. So now, if you look at this difference between the staged area and the last commit we made, you see there are no changes. There are no changes yet, right? No changes yet. So We'll move forward now. I will do git add, all right, and I'll do a dot. Okay, and then I'll do git diff. You see that I have now added the first time when I did git diff, right? It was showing me the untracked file, right? What was the original file in my working copy, and what changes I had made to that working copy. So if I add that file to my staging area, right, this is what it will now be, right? So now in this git diff command, and I put dash staged, I am checking the difference between my current staged area and my commit area. So in this first one, I had not staged the file. So it was just showing me what changes I had made. So having seen that I had not staged the file here, the old commit is the same thing as the staging area, what is in the staging area. I now went to stage the file that I've made changes to. And when I did git diff, it didn't pull out anything anymore because my working copy and my staging area are now in the same, they are now the same. So git diff didn't pull out anything. So now if we do git diff dash staged to now check the staging area, now that I have moved item to that staging area and my last commit, you will see that it will bear this kind of difference, right? So remember, I've not committed, so the commit is still showing this text. Let's come down. So line 8 contract is equal to does not show anything. This is what I just made. Before, it was showing nothing to commit. So, and that was the last time we committed the file. We saved it. So, and that last commit is what when I do git diff, right, that staged, it will show me what the last commit was and the current staged file. I have now staged that change I showed you just now. It does not show anything. I've staged it. So let's do git diff dash dash staged. You see now? Now you will notice that the what do you call it now? This is my last commit, and this is what it shows. And this is now what I have staged, right? So if I now commit this file and I do git diff dash dash staged, it won't show me anything anymore because I would have made the staged area and the commit area the same, right? So let's do git commit dash m. I'll just put that there. Okay, so I have effectively made a commit. Now notice the file state. It has come back to untracked, right? When it's untracked, no, you don't see any letter by it. But when it's unmodified, you will see a U, right? Maybe I create another file here and I modify it and I add everything to my staging area. This one, since I didn't touch it, it will just be unmodified. While the file I created and I changed, that one will carry maybe staged, that I've moved it to the staged area, but this one is unmodified, you know, so that by the time I commit, Git will take a snapshot of this one as unmodified. So we have come back. So now if I do git diff dash dash staged, you see, nothing comes up because everything is the same. If I do git diff, just to check the working copy and the staged area, the same thing. All three areas have been regularized. They're all in the same, they're all containing the same thing. Okay, so I was just trying to explain that. That's why I said, let me come this way to show you. Okay, so let's move forward. Now, let's say I create a file. Chapter 1.txt, right? You will see that it will come here now. You will see it show there. I'm creating that file, right? You see it's unmodified. It's a new file. Git is tracking it, but I've not done anything to it. So if I click that file and I start typing, okay, I have not, Git is still tracking it, but it's not modified yet because I have not moved it to the staged area. Now, if I do git diff, right, it will now show me the difference between what is in my staged area, which is the previous, okay, let's just do it, git diff. See, nothing has changed because I have not carried anything into the staged area. So let's move it to the staged now. Git add. I can spell, let's just say chapter 1.txt. I'm adding only that one. Okay. You see that it has now been staged. It is now showing A, staged. Okay. And let's just, for the benefit of doubt, let's do git add and dot to carry everything along, right? You see that nothing still changed. It's just the same thing. Okay, so now if I do git diff, you see now that, oh, I didn't type it well. The diff, right? So nothing has changed. Okay, let's clear the screen. So now that this file that I have created, right? If I want to remove it, all I need to do is to do git remove, right? And then the file name. Once I do that, right, what will happen is it will remove it from the working copy and from the staging area, right? So now it's telling me that, this file, I have changes that I've already staged, right? So if I want to remove it completely, I can just use a flag -f to force remove it. And I can actually do that. You see, the file is out. The file is no longer in my working copy or in my staging area. So I'll create the file again. Okay, and I'll type here, chapter 1 again. Okay, so, and then we do git add, right? We just want to add everything. The file state has changed. You know that this is a staged file, right? So let's do git diff -stage. You see now that there is a difference between the last commit we made, right? When this file was not created, then when we're working on this, right? And this new setup. This folder now contains a second file, right? So if you notice, you see that there is a new file that has been added, and that file is chapter 1.txt. This is the content of that file. it will now be added to if we commit, this is what will now be added to our new commit. So this is the difference. Git diff dash stage is showing me the difference between what I have staged and the last commit. So let's go to git log to check all the commit history, right? The last commit was another commit. Now I just give it another commit, and this was not there then. It was when we came here and I modified this thing. That was when we had that and committed it, right? This file was not there. But now we want to make another commit. You know, I'll name it yet another commit. So let's say git commit and yet another commit, right? And you see, we're back to normal. If I do git log, you see that this is the latest commit, right? It was done by me, the email and all that. If I now do git diff staged, nothing will show up because everything has been resolved. So that's how to, I just showed you how to remove a file that we just started, that is in your working copy and in your staging area. And that's, you use git remove, git space dash rm and then the file name, you know, and then you can use a dash f as a flag to force remove the file. Okay, so that's when you want to remove file from your working copy and your staging area at the same time. Okay, so let's say I'll create another file. Chapter 2 is created. And let's work on this. Okay, so that's basically that. Okay, so now this file is not being staged yet, right? It's not being staged, but and if you look at it here, it's unmodified. Okay, if I want to remove it on track, if I want to remove it, right, or from my working copy, because right now it's in my working copy, right? All I will do is git checkout dash dash the file name. Okay, maybe I typed it. Sorry. Git checkout and then the file name. Chapter 2.txt. Let's see. That's the name of the file, so why is it not showing? Okay, so okay, I'll just press git checkout and Just wait. Okay. Mhm. So this is how to, troubleshoot some simple things, right? Yeah. So basically, this is what I did. So, but I'm surprised why I didn't pick it. Okay, we'll try again. So this basically is when I want to, go back to the previous state. You don't need any dash or anything. Um, okay, so yeah, git checkout space and then the file name. Okay, so now what's happening here is that because this file is untracked, Git is saying it does not know this file. So we'll add the file, right? We'll add it. So it's being staged. So let's try the checkout again. Okay, so let's see. Git status. Okay, so now there are a lot of updates that happen. If you look at this, you'll see that if I want to restore, I would say git restores dash dash staged and then the file name. That will unstage it, right? You remove it to become you make Git. Git will no longer be tracking it. So what I wanted to do was to make sure that Git is not is to reverse to remove a file that was in my working copy. Well, I would go and look at it and find out why it didn't work, but let's do this and on stage. Okay. So we'll take git restore dash staged and then the file name. You see now that it has taken it back to untracked. So we've been able to take it out of. So when you want to take a file that has been staged, maybe I stage a file by using git add, right? I put a dot to stage all the files here, but I discovered that, oh, this one, I don't want to stage it. I can actually say git restore dash staged, and then that particular file name. It will unstage that file and leave the rest, right? But if I do dash staged and I put dot, it will unstage everything. Okay, so I will look at why the first checkout command didn't work, but let's move on. Okay, so let's clear the screen, git log. Now, if you look at the way Git displays commits, it will display it by commit a SHA-1 hash, that's what they call it, right? And it's a 40 hexadecimal number, right? And then you would see what you call in brackets, you see a head with an arrow pointing to what we call master. We're going to look at this too, later. So let's say I want to come back to this commit, right? I want to come back to that commit, and I want to restore my file to an earlier commit, right? So what I would do is I'll take git, I'll say git checkout, right? And then I'll type that the hash number, right? And the file name. So let's come here. Let's use this one, right? I'll pick the hash number. You can probably take about the first 4, first 5. Let's copy that. So it will be git commit. Let's see what I changed in this book. Okay, so okay, let's take everything out again. Just a minute. Let's see again. Surprising while this is just is happening this way, but okay. It looks like I typed the wrong. I typed the wrong command. Git checkout and commit. Okay, git commit, git checkout, and then you write your commit hash first 5 digits. Okay, so that's what I didn't. That's what I made a mistake there. Well, let's see. Good. So yeah, you can write your first 5 digits, or you can copy everything at once. And so what it was a command that was wrong. Git checkout, and then the SHA-1 hash code number, and then double dash space the um, the actual file name you want to check out to, right? So if I do git log, right, this was the one I moved to another commit. Now, when we were here, we already made a commit, and that commit showed us does not show anything, right? And we had also a chapter 1 when we did that commit, okay? But this chapter 2 was not there. Now, if you notice now that it has turned to untracked because we moved down one commit. This one is no longer being tracked. It's no longer part of our Git directory. Git is not tracking it anymore. But before, when we were here, Git was tracking it. It was part of what we added. We made changes. If you come here, you see we typed and we made changes and all that. So for you to move from one commit to the other, okay, let's see if we can move from, let's move to this third commit. Are you seeing now that we moved this particular file, went to where it was committed, a previous commit, right? Like a previous snapshot. If I click it now, you'll see that this was at that time when we made that commit, this was what was there, nothing, right? So, but by the time we moved to, if I move to the commit that we were now before I came here, right? The hash code is different. You'll see that this will change. See that? So this is how you can switch from one commit to the other. Okay. And I mean, it's a technique for you to move from one commit to the other and see what changes, maybe I don't like the latest code. I feel I made serious mistakes. I want to go back pre-commits before and start. I'll just do git log. Maybe this is where I am now, and I come 1, 2, 3, and I think from here we were good. You check the file, you check out to this hash code, right? If it's everything, then you don't need to type a file name. But if it's a particular file, you type the file name, and then you continue working, right? Once you start working, you commit. It will create a new commit from that point to make it your latest commit, and you can continue you continue developing your code. Okay, so now what if, let's say, let me touch a file here. I'll create that file. I'll create maybe document file. I'll create another file. Let's say so I created those 3 files. Okay, and I don't want those files to be tracked. I don't want them to be added to Git in any way. In case I do git add dot, right? If I do a git add space dot, it means everything here I want it to be added. But I want to make sure these 3 are not part of it. So, right? So what you do is you include them in your dot ignore file, dot git ignore. Okay, so in your dot git ignore file, you now say you just copy the file names, or let's say dictionary, or you just put a star dot doc. So any document file, right? A star dot PDF, a star dot JPEG, right? Did you notice what happened? They automatically became muted out. Git is no longer tracking them. Before, if I remove this now, you see they are being monitored. They are on track, but they can easily be moved. If I add, they will be moved right into the staged area. But the moment I created a .git ignore file and I added them, these files are just they are not part of what I want to track ever. Git will immediately ignore them. So that's the use of, the way you list files you don't want Git to track. Now let's talk about branching. Basically, branching helps us to work, on different versions of some file. Maybe this book.txt. We'll work on that file, and we want to make different versions out of it, of the same file. We can do that in parallel, independently, right? Through the concept of branching. So let's say we have a file, let's say A1, right? I can decide, to work on that file, right, until I commit it. I can also decide to create a branch of that file. Okay. Another one, another A1 out of this one. Once I'm done with that, I'll also, so it is this identical file and continue what I'm doing. At some point, you know, as I continue, I might decide to merge them together. Okay, that's another concept, merging, that we'll look at. Okay, so this concept of creating a duplicate file that you are working on, so that maybe a set of people are working on chapter 2 here of the same book, right? They have chapter 1 and chapter 2. These people have the 2. This one, they have the 2, right? These ones are working on only chapter 1, right? While you and your other group, you're working on chapter 2, right? But you also have chapter 1 with you, but you're not working on it. You're just working on chapter 2, right? So you can use the concept of branching to create that duplicate file while people are working on the same file and making changes to the file. It is also possible for you, two of you, to be working on chapter 1. This one is working on chapter 1. This is working on chapter 1 also. But the two files are parallel to each other. You know, you only bring them together if you want to merge them, you know. And so this is a concept in source code management called branching, right? And there's a lot, you know, that you can achieve with branching. So you can create branches for example, production, maybe works real life is, this might be your main branch where your source code is, where the application running on the web, people are looking at it. This is where the main application that runs on the web is. Then they'll create a duplicate of it, create another branch, or maybe the dev team to make any updates they want to do and all that. Once they are done, while they are doing that, from this, they'll create another branch, you know, for basically the create another branch for the let's say the testing team, QA team. Whatever these guys are doing, they'll test it. And they'll further again create another branch, you know, for maybe bug fixes. After testing, there are some bugs, you know, they'll create another branch out of that. And you see, all these branches will be running simultaneously, you know. And once they do the bug fix and everything works well, you can now come back to the original one that people are accessing and you merge to it. So, you know, and all you see maybe in your phone is that this application, there's a new update. Download the update and update it. It has gone through all these processes, you know, various people working on various branches, you know, at various times of the same code, doing various things to it till they feel satisfied and they bring it back to the original branch, you know, and then they merge it. Okay, so let's look at that. So to check to check for a branch, basically, you just use the command git branch. It will show you the branches that are available. Right now, the default branch is usually the master or the main. And then the star sign you see there is used to tell you which branch is currently, uh, uh, you know, on the forefront, the one you're working on currently, or which branch you are in currently, right? So to create a branch, right, all you need to do is to use git branch and then the name of the branch. So let's say, um, we'll create a branch called, let's say, ABC. Okay, and create another branch again. EFG. If I say git branch, you'll see all the branches. See that? We have 3 branches now, but we are currently in our master branch. For you to move from one branch to the other, you can use the command git checkout and then the branch you want to move to. Let's say I want to move to ABC. Switched to ABC. So let's check which branch I am now. Git branch, enter. You see now that the star has come to ABC. Everything you're seeing here has been duplicated and copied to each of these branches. So I can start working on this now to make changes. It will only be registered in this branch. This master branch that we were working on from the beginning will still remain the way it is. Okay, so basically, that's how to create a branch. That's how to also switch from one branch to the other. Okay, let's say we are now in branch ABC, right? And these are chapter 2 is on track. Let's add it. Git add. Okay, and git commit. Okay, we've committed to ABC branch. You see now that everything has been regularized. If we check out to the master branch, you will see git checkout master. You'll see. Did you notice? You see that these have come back to the way they were before on tracked. Okay. Git checkout ABC. You see, the changes have been registered because I have committed here. Now, if I say git log, you would see now that I am currently in my ABC branch, but I have 2 other branches there. And this commit I made is in my ABC branch. Okay, so I'll show you something else. Now, when I did git, log. If you notice, you'll see that there is this word head with an arrow pointing. Okay, that word head is just a pointer, right? And what it does is it tells you where the arrow is, facing with the head, tells you the current branch which you are on. So it is basically a symbolic notation. That's all it does. It points to a branch. So if I do let's use another command to show you more about git log. I'll paste that, -- all, -- decorate, -- online, and -- graph. So this shows me something differently. Now we see our SHA-1 hash code, the first 7 digits, right? We see all the commits, first, second, third, fourth, another commit, right? And then yet another commit. And then we see that the head is actually showing that we are currently in branch ABC. Okay, so, but I mean, we can't be using this kind of long command, so we can maybe make an alias out of it. Alias, let's call these graph, for example. Let's copy the full command and close this. So if I do graph, you'll be able to just see, instead of typing all these many things, right? You will be able to see that command. Okay, so another thing I want to show you is let's make right now we're in ABC branch. Let's add to our chapter 2. Okay, that's enough then, right? And it's showing already the file state has changed to modified. I've made modification. If I say git branch, you'll see the branch I'm in, right? I'm in ABC branch. So git. So now, if I want to add and commit immediately at the same time, right? I'll do git commit -m and then the commit message. Okay. Okay. That does the job. So clear. If I say git or graph, you'll see now that the head is still showing that I'm in branch ABC, and a new commit has been created with a new hash number, you know, and the comment I made is here clearly. Okay, so now let's go back to master. Git checkout master. You see, everything has changed, right? There's no chapter 2 in master. Are you seeing that? There's nothing like chapter 2 in the master, right? If I do git, if I do this graph, right, you'd see now that the head has moved to master. Now, if you notice, master and EFG are in the same commit level, right? They're in the same commit level, right? So what this means is that I can merge these two without any stress, but I cannot merge these two just like that because there are many things that have changed that may conflict with this ABC branch and the master branch. Okay, so that will make me talk about merging. Now let's look at merging itself. And there are 3 strategies of merging. One, you have the fast forward, right? The other one, you have the 3-way. And then you have the manual conflict resolution, right? So the fast forward is when you have a let me change my screen. So let's say we are here, right? We're here, we create a branch, right? Out of the master, we create a branch and we're working. So the master and this branch, right? We're working on this branch and we want to now merge with our master. Let me do it in another way that will be okay. Let's say we have our master branch here, and out of our master branch, we create a new branch, and we start working on that branch. Every time we commit, the what do you call it now? A new hash number will show for that branch. But this is our master branch, right? This is our new branch. So for us to now merge this branch to the new branch, they are of the same line. They are coming from the same place. The source is from the master. There's another branching that can come from this. Maybe from here, we create a new branch and we start working on off from this. I'm not talking of that now. You know, this branch, they are of the same tree. If I want to merge the master, what simply means is that I want to move the master commit to this same level of commit. I want to bring it to this level. So I will update content of the master with the commit that I have made on this branch. So that's what merging, fast forward merging is. You merge fast forward with fast forward method if the two branches are of the same tree, the same stem. But if I have a stem like this coming out, maybe, of course, this is my master. I created this branch, and from this branch, after making some modifications and commit, I created another branch out of it, right? So let's come back again. Master, from the master, I created a branch. From a branch, I made modifications and made commits. So this is now a commit, a change from this branch, but it's still in the same stem. If I need to merge with my master, what it means is that I'm moving my master to, I'm updating it to take this new commit snapshot. So that's called fast forward merging. But now I have this branch here, and from this branch, I created another branch and I started working, right? I started working on what I was working on, and I made a commit here of this branch. If I want to merge, this will be called a three-way merge, okay? Because now I made a commit here, and I want to merge with this branch, okay? So what it will consider is they are not in the same tree. If you notice here, they are not in the same tree. Or maybe I'll use the master because it make it easier for you. If you notice, the master is in this tree, it's going straight. But from here, I made another branch out of it, and I started another, I'm developing my code from this base, and I'm committing. I'm making so the master would have moved up here now. And now I want to merge these two, my master with this new commit belonging to this different branch. That's called a three-way merge. What will happen is the Git will take cognizance of the changes I have in this, in my new master, my master, it will take cognizance with the commit, the branch, the base branch that got this commit, from where we got this commit, and it will take cognizance of this latest commit itself. So it's a three-way branch. And this is where mostly you can have conflicts. Okay, you can easily have conflicts here. Okay, so let's try and see how we can do a regular fast forward branch merging. Okay, so let's see where we are. We're in the master. Okay, so now let's check out to our EFG. Git branch. Let's see, we are in our EFG. So it's the same basically as the master. Okay. Now here in our EFG, let's create a file. The .ignore, git ignore, and let's echo the star .no. Okay. Star JPEG and star PDF. And let's redirect it to .git ignore. Okay. And so if I come to git ignore, okay, it's not put in the right format. So I'll just put this and put this. Okay. So we've been able to make these changes. And now let's create another file, chapter 3. And we'll go into chapter 3 and we'll start typing. Okay. So we've made changes here. So git add, git commit. So we've committed. So now, for us to now do a merge, we'll now check out to our master branch. The branch you want to merge, you check out to that branch. The branch you want to be updated. So git checkout in master. So we'll move to the master branch. We'll do git branch. See we're in the master. You'll notice that those things we did, git ignore, they are no longer here, right? And so now we can now do git merge, okay? And then the name of the branch you want to be copied to your master so that your master can now be updated. Or before we do that, let's do git difference, right? Git difference master dot efg. What this will do is show us the difference between the two branches. Okay, git diff space master dot efg will show us the difference between the two branches. Okay, you would see that there is a dot git ignore that will be added. There are files that are included, you know, in that are being tracked in the what do you call it now? In our master branch, right? But if you look at the EFG file branch, we have actually moved them to the dot ignore, so you can't find them there. This is the only thing that will be changed, and this file will be added. Chapter 3 file will be added, right? And this will be the content of that file. So we can look at the difference, basically, between both files. And you can do that, both branches. You can do that with git diff, and the branch you are currently in, the branch you want to, from which you want to update this current branch. So we can now do git merge, and then the file name, the branch you will want to merge. When we click enter, you notice everything has moved to the master. If you look here, you would see fast forward. What we have done here, we have updated the new hash of this EFG, the latest commit. Let's see. We didn't do a git log. Okay, no problem. We would have seen, if we had done a git log, we would have been able to see these hash numbers, So now what we have done is we have used the changes here to update the master. The master has moved up to the latest commit of which this EFG has. So if I do git log, you'll see that we are in the master branch, but both of them are sharing the same commit. Are you seeing that? Because we've actually merged them. So there's no need to have the head pointing to these two. We can delete this branch, for example, right? We can delete a branch, the EFG. We've been able to get a master up to date, okay? So if we want to delete a branch, we can use that command, git branch, and then, not git rm, sorry. And then it's -d and the branch name. So if you do this, you have effectively deleted that branch. If I say git branch, you won't see the branch anymore. It's gone, you see. But if I say, let's say graph, let's see what we have now. Okay, now you notice that, look at the tree now, you see that the tree branched off. What I was trying to show you, from our master, we branched off to another stem. And from there, we had this ABC, and we had our last commit of ABC. Well, we continued, right? And we merged with EFG, we've deleted it. So that's why you're not seeing it anymore. So the head now is pointing to, this head tells us we're currently in the master branch, right? And this is the latest commit. Look at that number very well of this commit. If you come here when we were merging the master, you see that this old master commit ID was being updated to take on this new one. You're seeing that that's what's there now. Okay. And if you look at where the master previously, before we merged, this was the commit ID. You see that? So the master was moved. So this new commit ID was now, this one was now removed, and the master moved on to take on this new commit ID, which was the same commit ID of the previous EFG branch we deleted, right? And we didn't need it anymore because we've already updated our master. So we just deleted that branch so that for simplicity and for the place to be clean. So, but I want you to see that there is a branch that does not follow this stem. It's the ABC branch. He's saying that you cannot merge this branch with this one, with the fast forward way, because they are not on the same pedestal. So that's where the three-way merge comes in. Okay, that's where the three-way merge comes in, because there's no direct path. Okay, so it will consider what it will consider now. This is the latest commit of this ABC branch. We want to merge it to this. It will consider this, right? It will consider this, and then the two latest branches, the latest commits, and then it will consider where they came from, the base. So that's why it's called a three-way commit. Okay, which is it's completely different from the master, from the fast forward branch. So we're in the master branch. Let's check git branch. We're in the master branch. So let's merge, git merge ABC, which is what we want to bring in. Now you see now that there is conflict. Okay. There's conflict in git ignore, right? Git ignore. Now you have which is what I wanted us to talk about, merge conflicts, right? So we can fix the conflicts, and we can do that manually, right? So what we'll do, let's do git branch clear. Let's clear the screen. Now there is a place here where we are supposed to be able to resolve. Anyway, so let's, okay, good. It showed me before that the git ignore is where the issue is. Okay, so when you click the file that it tells you there are conflicts in, you would now see the two branches and and what difference you have. Now, this head right now, right, is showing me where you see head here, it means I'm in my current branch. I told you the head shows you the branch. So let's do git branch. So I'm in my master. So this is my master. Line 1 to 4 is my master .git ignore file. It shows document, JPEG, and PDF. Meanwhile, in my ABC, it's the first two lines, line 2 and line 6, they align. But look at line 3 and line 7. They don't align. And line 4 and line 8, they don't align. So it's either you manually make those changes, right? So here, all I will do is to just switch it. Instead of PDF, I'll just do the JPEG, right? And instead of JPEG here, I'll do PDF. So this way, we've been able to align the three I mean, we've been able to make sure everything is the same. So there'll be, so we've resolved, right? We've resolved it already. Okay. And so let's see. I'm not sure if I hope I've saved. Okay, I've not saved. Okay, so now I'm in my master branch. So what I will do, resolve in merge editor, right? I clicked resolve in merge editor. Okay, so that's where I will be able to just do it and save. Okay, so here I will just go ahead. Let's see. This is my ABC branch. This is the incoming, because I want to merge, right? And this is my master. So either one we can change. Let me take the one from the master, a copy, and take this and paste. So I cannot edit in 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 the editor. Okay. So what will happen here is, from what you see here, is either you accept all the changes from here, or you accept all the changes from here as the to resolve this conflict. So if I accept from here, for example, everything here will be copied to here. If I accept from here, everything here will be copied to there. Anyone will just that one. So now this docs, JPEG, and PDF is what will now be the standard. And so I can now complete merge. Okay. And once I've completed the merge, if I now do graph, let's see. Okay, so let's see git merge ABC. Let's see now. Okay, so we've already done that. Okay, so now, so we need to just commit. If you notice here, it's asking me to commit. Even here, it's asking me to commit. If I click here, it will commit that merge and make it permanent. And we can now look at the graph again to see the changes. Okay, so let's click that. Did you see how from the branching, we were able to now merge ABC with the master? Are you seeing that now? We're now able to now merge ABC with the master. So if you look at the our new commit, right? If you look at our new commit, you see that you are no longer seeing the old this old the whole SHA hash code. You're not seeing it anymore. There is a new one now that has been generated. And it's as a result of merging this to the master, bringing this, the master, or, updating both of them. Now, this is called a three-way merge technique. And so we looked at how to merge in fast forward. That is when both branches are of the same stem, and using a three-way when the branch is a new complete stem that is not part of is a new stem, right? So those are the two. Then Also resolving merge conflicts, right? You come to the merge editor, you select, you accept it, and then you select the one you want to take preeminence, and then you merge and commit. So that effectively merges that branch. So now the branch, if I do git log, right? Now you see that our branch, we now have a new, this is our new branch, right? Merge branch ABC, that was a new commit we made. Now this commit ensures, right, that this branch of the master, that's our hash code, and which is this, the first 7 digits, right? And this one, which is for ABC, as the first 7 digits, have now been merged. And that's what you're seeing here. And a new commit SHA-1 hash number has been generated. So this way, you can actually maintain your source code. You can write a book, even as simple as a book, using this technique. And give to various people they are writing. You know, play with the techniques of merging, branching. Everybody will create a branch by themselves when they have the source code or the book, you know, and then they start writing. All you might just do is just to create all the chapters as files here, and everybody will have the code, copy it to their local machine, create their .git this thing. We'll talk about the next, this thing when we conclude on Wednesday. We'll conclude on Git. We'll look at how to create a GitHub account, and maybe I'll post a video before then, how to create a GitHub account and how to now work with the distributed form using a remote repository. So when everybody is working on that book, this one is working on chapter 5, chapter 6, right? As we all merge, you'll see that conflicts, you resolve them easily, you know what to do, you know, and you can, you know the difference between, mostly it will be three-way merge because everybody's working separately and all that, you know, and you'll be able to resolve any conflicts that arise from any of those projects that you work on. The last thing I will look at is a detached head, all right? And basically, now, if you notice, this head is designed to point to the branch you are in, the current branch. But for some reason, there are some times you will see that this head will point to a hash ID. It's not supposed to be. Instead, it will point to a commit ID. It's not supposed to be. When it happens like that, you notice it, you type maybe git log or git log and you see that, right? This git log, you see that the head here, there is no arrow. Instead, it's showing that it's pointing to this, then you know that there is a problem, right? So in that situation, all you just need to do is to check out to a branch or create a branch and check out to that branch. So usually that's called a detached head when you have that situation. So if you have that situation, you just do git check out, right? Let's even check if I have any branch apart from my master. Okay, I still have ABC. So all you just do is when you notice you have a detached head, you know, you will not be able to add, you will not be able to commit, you will not be able to do anything, right? So just do git checkout and the branch name or create a new branch. You know, that way you would have moved, if I do git log now, I've moved to a new branch. You see that the head has now moved to a new branch. So that's a way of resetting it. Okay, and I can come back to my master. Git checkout master, right? So git log, you see that I've come back to my master. So this will be the end of this this class today. I would want anybody that has any questions to ask, you can ask, any challenges, but please go back and watch the video again and try to grab the concept, because it will really help you. Your mics have been enabled. Yeah. Okay. If there are no questions, we'll meet on Friday. We'll conclude on Git, and we'll move on to the next DevOps tool. So I'll see you guys.
What's our next topic?
Okay, so once we finish with Git, we'll jump into Terraform. Terraform will be to build infrastructure, cloud infrastructure, with code. We'll jump into that. Okay, so thank you very much. We'll meet on Friday. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.